Peace, family. It's your girl TT from TT Talks. I hope all is well with you. It is May 31st. It is the anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre, and so it is very fitting that today I share this book with you in honor of that. It is called The Nation Must Awake, My Witness to the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921 by Mary E. Jones Parrish. It is her firsthand account as a resident of Tulsa of that fateful day, and she also documents the firsthand accounts of many other survivors in the community. I recommend that you get this book so you can get the firsthand accounts. There's one particular account that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to read an excerpt of that, and I hope that it resonates with you. One of the most horrible scenes of race hatred in Tuesday, May 31st, and morning of Wednesday, June 1st, mob violence occurred at Tulsa, Oklahoma, on the night of that history has ever recorded on the face of the globe. This sad occurrence, committed by more than 5,000 whites, has blackened the city of Tulsa's character and placed a black stain upon this great oil city that can never be erased. I happen to note being a resident of Tulsa. The Daily Tribune, a white newspaper that tries to gain its popularity by referring to the Negro settlement as Little Africa, came out on the evening of Tuesday, May 31st, with an article claiming that a Negro had had some trouble with a white elevator girl at the Drexel building. It is also said that the Negro had been arrested and placed in jail, and that a mob of whites were forming in order to lynch the Negro. Sometime during the night, about 50 Negroes arrived. Then scores with rifles went up to the district where the accused Negro was in prison, and upon their arrival found a host of whites who were making an effort to lynch the Negro. The Negroes were given the assurance by officials in charge that no lynching would take place, and as they were about to return to the Negro section, someone fired a shot and the battle began. All night long, they could be heard firing from both sides, while the whites were marshaling more than 5,000 men who had surrounded the Negro section to make an early attack in the morning on more than 8,000 innocent Negroes. As daylight approached, they, the whites, were given a signal by a whistle, and the dirty, cowardly outrage took place. All of this happened while innocent Negroes were slumbering and did not have the least idea that they would fall victims of such brutality. At the signal of the whistle, more than a dozen airplanes went up and began to drop turpentine balls upon the Negro residences, while the 5,000 whites, with machine guns and other deadly weapons, began firing in all directions. Negro men, women, and children began making haste to flee to safety, but to no avail, as they were met on all sides with volleys of shot. The Negro men, women, and children were killed in great numbers as they ran, trying to flee to safety. As the fighting progressed, they were capturing and taking all Negro men from their honest homes to a downtown hall, etc. Also, Negro women and children were being taken to different parts of the city. After they had cleared more than 500 homes of occupants, then the dirty work of firing and looting of homes began. Torchlights were used with gasoline to burn up the Negro settlement, and in the meantime, they used large trucks to load up pianos, Victrolas, and other articles that were in the Negro homes. In fact, the whole of the Negro homes were looted by these rascal whites who met no resistance, as most of the Negroes were taken prisoners. We read the Bible about Sodom and Gomorrah, but the sights as witnessed that morning could not have been worse. One part of the city was cut off from the other by fire, smoke, and ashes. The most horrible scenes of this occurrence were to see women dragging their children while running to safety, and the dirty white rascals firing at them as they ran. Some of them were pursued more than 12 or 15 miles, and some have never returned. Negro hospitals with numbers of sick were burned, and many people perished in the flames, not being able to get to a place of safety. Tulsa, in which many Negroes had accumulated much wealth and fine homes, and Greenwood Street, the Negroes' Broadway of Tulsa, and one of the best Negro business streets in the whole USA, now lies in a heap of ashes. As the debris was being cleared away, bodies were found buried, burned to a crisp. They had had no means of escape. The number of whites and Negroes killed in this raid will never be known. I was detained at the police station to assist the white and colored doctors with wounded Negroes, and all day long, from early morning until night, truckloads of Negroes were being brought by, dead and wounded. Where they were taken, I don't know. Several Negroes were tied to the backs of automobiles and dragged through the streets while bullets were being fired into their bodies. Women were being chased from their homes naked, with clothes in their hands and volleys of shots fired at them as they were fleeing, some with babies in their arms. These things, and many others, which I will not be able to mention, were done in America, which makes its boast of true democracy. Ho America, cruel America, thou art weighed in the balance. And that was signed by A.H. So please, get this book, read their stories, share their stories, and never forget this day. And always remember, anything that you build, whether here or somewhere else, you have to be able to protect it. TT Talks.